Lydia Deda, Fight Connect TV, and I'm here with Lynn McHenry / O'Shea at Billy O'Sullivan's gym here in Waterford. Well, long time coming.
I know, yes, it's been a long time, isn't it?
I can now get laid off because everyone has put so much pressure on me to get you on the show. Literally for the last 5 years, when are you getting Lynn on? When are you getting Lynn on?
I wonder who that is. Wally Flynn.
Wally Flynn was definitely one of them. But listen, good to get you on. Someone of your, legacy, Lynn.
Go that far now, would you?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. Good to get you down here. What's going on? What's happening at the moment?
Not much. The comeback.
Well, the two boys are like to talk about the comeback. They're only having you on. Is there none?
There is no comeback.
Absolutely not. We never see you back in there.
Never say never, but there is no comeback.
Spoken like a true fighter.
The gloves just never come off, do they? Really, when you get them on, they don't. If you're really interested in the sport, they never ever come off.
How long was it that you were really focused on competition and you were competing?
My last elite championships was 2014. So it doesn't feel like 6 years ago. I think it was February, March 2014. Yeah, 2014. Yeah, it's mad.
For our viewers because obviously we've a lot of young viewers that are, every year they're kind of coming on board, they're watching the show, they're getting to know all the fighters that are on the circuit. So a lot of the men and women that maybe have gone before, they don't really know too much about. For anyone that's out there that doesn't know who you are, just give a rundown of all your winnings over the years, and don't be shy about them.
I started kickboxing when I was 7 with Billy, and I suppose I kept really going up until I was probably about 14 or 15, took a break for a couple of years, as you would when you were a kid. And then after my leaving cert, I started back training, and then got my first opportunity, went to World Championships. I think that was year 2000. Yeah, year 2000. I picked up a bronze medal, went back the following year, and then got a gold. So I was only 19. Yeah, I was only 19 at the time, and then went on, won 3 world titles, 2 Europeans, couple of Irish, and then I got married in 2008, and then I had my last fight with Billy, last kickboxing fight, and then I decided, you know what, we're going to go boxing and see if I could make it to the Olympics. But women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics back then. That was 2008. So I just kept plugging away, and then won a couple of Irish titles, couple of Irish elites, and made it to the Europeans, made it to the EU championships, and that was basically it.
I mean, it's when you say, women's boxing wasn't that big or wasn't really a thing at the time, and now we're seeing, obviously, with Katie Taylor, we've seen how she's kind of now at the forefront and getting the massive backing, the massive, money push, I suppose, behind her. You've been there from the start, so you've obviously seen the dramatic change in the sport, especially on the women's side.
It's brilliant because, when I started boxing I started after September 2008. And there wasn't much boxing scene, women's boxing on the scene. There was high performance up in the high performance gym up in Dublin and that, but there wasn't a push on it, and there wasn't many internationals that they were sending Irish teams away on to back then and stuff like that. But then jump forward another 12 months, and then there was a little bit more importance to it. And say around 2010, 2011, they sent the first youth team to European Championships. And they saw the success. They sent an elite team. So we went to the EU Championships in Poland, and there was the likes of myself and Katie, and then there was Kelly Harrington, which is world champion now. Sinead Kavanagh, she's Bellator now as well. We had Ciara Smith as well. We had Katie Rowland. We had some fantastic boxers that now have excelled and seen that good push, throughout the years. So, which is brilliant to actually just watch it unfold over the years.
Yeah. Would you, when you look back on your career, would you have made any changes now in hindsight?
Maybe I wouldn't have stopped.
That's what I wanted to hear. Really, is that something that you think about? Do you think if you had stuck it out a little bit that you could be?
I'd say I kind of lost my hunger, to be honest with you. 2014, 2015 were 2 hard years for myself, so I suppose after my father died in 2014, I went up to high performance and I'd done a bit of sparring, and I kind of went, the light's not there. That hunger, the drive, you were in sparring girls, you knew you were better than them, but you just didn't feel that I couldn't be bothered, and that's a hard pill to swallow as well, you know what I mean, and then try to get back into it. And
is it a hard pill to swallow because you have been a professional, or, you know, well, in the sense of like the competition element of the drive, the hunger to be the best that you can be, and it's not there? Is the hard pill in that, you know, where you're sort of trying to recognise yourself and go, where am I in that, or what exactly is it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, when I was training full time, like I worked 3 shifts, so when I come home off a night, I'd go out running at 6 o'clock in the morning, go home, go to bed, get up, get something to eat. I go back training again in the evening. So is the hunger there to actually do that again? I look back and I go, Jesus, how did I ever do that? You know what I mean? I'm coming home at 6 o'clock in the morning now, I'm kind of walking up the stairs and I'm dead, like, but to get your gear in the cold mornings, it's dark and it's raining and you go off running. That hunger, that want to do that anymore, was it there anymore? Are you going to give it, if you're not in it 100%, in this game, in kickboxing, boxing, MMA, anything, if that hunger's not there, you're at none. You know, if you're only going through the motions, you're at nothing. But if you are pushing through the motions and the hunger is there, then you have that fire. Like,
Billy's off. You're going. You're grand. We were allowed to say goodbye to you on here. Thanks for that. You're welcome. See you soon, Billy. Thank you very much. See you later. Take it easy. It's a hard slog, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you're not 100%, you're at none. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to watch people like Kelly Harrington and Katie Taylor now? Not in terms of you know, finding it hard because of a jealousy standpoint, but kind of that thing of, I wish that was me.
No, do you know what? Myself and Vinny, my husband, we sat up and we watched when Kelly won the silver medal in the World Championships. We got up and we watched it on the telly and we were like, oh shit, she didn't win. And then the following year, I think it was, the World Championships were on and she was in. And I actually think Vinny started crying in the sitting room. We jumped around the sitting room, you know. It was just it was fantastic because, like, we've been there. My first trip away to the Haringey Box Cup, that was where I would have met Kelly. Yeah. And from then we were kind of friends from then. So to see someone that you've been friends with for so long to lift a world title, it's just, I feel like Craig won them. You know what I mean? Myself and Craig trained together in St. Paul's as elites for years and years and pushing each other. But when one won something, we were both delighted. Yeah. You know, there was no jealousy or anything. It spurred us on to be even better and even hungrier. So when you see someone like that winning, it's like, yes, by delighted.
It's probably one of the biggest, loveliest elements of sport, isn't it? Where you train as hard as a teammate or, you know, somebody that's in your gym or on the field, wherever it is. And when they win, it's just like you're winning, and likewise.
Yeah, because you're together the whole time, like in the gym. Like, you know, when we were training St. Paul's and that, like, we'd be up and we'd be warming up. We'd having a laugh and a banter, but like, say we were up doing a bit of pads with Seamus on a Tuesday, extra training or whatever, and yeah, we'd have the banter. But the minute you get in and the bell goes for your pads, it's just straight down to work, you know, and each pushing each other on, you know. So that's just the way it is. Like. Yeah.
What are some of the biggest changes that you've witnessed, you know, in the kind of, I suppose, the landscape of boxing, kickboxing in that time?
I reckon in boxing, I think women's boxing has become massive, like amateur boxing. And you can see it in the pro game as well. There's a lot more. You have the likes of Kate Phelan, is that? Yeah. She would have been a young amateur when I would have been up in Dublin and that as well. And there's a lot more. You see Terry Harper there the week beforehand winning the WBC title, which I actually watched that fight and I was like, she's not bad. Yeah. She's a good little mover, you know, the step in and step out. It's like, yeah, nice boxing, you know. Yeah. And you can see that. You can see the transformation of going from slug to actually now you can see the technique and everything and the same kind of side steps and everything that you see the men doing that the women are doing. It's kind of going, yeah, this kind of class to watch, you know. Yeah. It's great.
What would have been your sort of kind of piece to resistance, I suppose, when you were fighting? Would it have been your speed? Would it have been your punching ability? Like, where would your strengths have lied?
I was a good runner.
You still are.
Or the backflip at the end, you know, when your hand gets raised, you do a backflip. Nah, I suppose I was a good counter puncher. So, if somebody was throwing a punch, like, just to slip out of the way and catch him and nip him out and try to make them make mistakes so that you could catch him. That was kind of the way I used to box.
Yeah. Proudest moments of your career?
I have a few of them. One would have been boxing with Craig down in Dungarvan on the Irish team against China. That was brilliant. It was my first It was my first green vest that I got, which was that was class. And then going over to Sweden to the Golden Girl Box Cup and getting the best senior boxer over there as well. So that was very good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We won't get you back in, no. Seriously, what would it take? What would it take? A good offer?
An offer? Jesus, you better talk to my husband if you want to get me back in.
Right, Vinny, expect a call, because you know what it is for me, it's because since I started Fight Connect, obviously I'm so grateful, appreciative of everyone who's on the show now, and there's lads and the gals are doing great things. But it's kind of the nostalgia thing for me when I hear like people like Billy, you know, I've known him for so long. He's done so much in the sport, and like yourself, anytime I speak to anyone, especially from Waterford, they'll be talking about Lynn and everything that you've done. They have a massive sense of pride for you. So I kind of want to get back.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's for me, it's a selfish thing. I want everyone to get back and come out of retirement, start fighting again, so I can be ringside and I can, you know, get the scoop on the comeback. But what do we think?
Do you know what? I'm kind of at the moment facing the mountains. You know, climbing mountains and stuff like
Literally,
that.
you love being up the mountains.
Yeah, it's good crack. It's a good place to be. Like, you know, you just drive out the road and you're up the mountains, and it's fresh air. It's good exercises and stuff like that. So hopefully in July, the end of July and August, I'm going to climb to the top of Europe in Elbrus in Russia. So that's my plan at the moment.
So still have that competitive streak, or that sort of like...
It's not a competitive streak. You're kind of competing against yourself more so than anything. You know what I mean? There's nobody in front of you. You can give up when you want to, but the determination is there to get to the top. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah. Some might say that's why you done so great in your career, is that you had that within you, yeah?
A bit of... I think, like, everybody can be hungry and want to win and say, right, I'm going to go train and stuff, but if you haven't got the determination and the will to win, you're at nothing. You need that grit. You need to get in, put the gum shield in and bite down as hard as you can and get on with it. Like, even with your training sessions, I don't feel like it today, get your ass up, get into the gym. You know, it's like a fight against yourself. Get up and go to the gym. Like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, on that note, let's get out of the gym. Thank you very much. An absolute pleasure to have you on. Really was. And we'll get you again. There'll be more down the line. We'll get you for some commentary on the future of women's boxing or something. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lynn McHenry for Fight Connect TV.